Hey, Toby here from TobyChristensen.com, and here is another coaching tip of the day. Don't go cheap. Okay? Recently I did a coaching tip of the day about compromise, and this is kind of along the same lines, but it really has to do exactly with your service and your product. One of the things that used to happen all the time when I worked for Nordstrom, I started off in the men's shoe department, and I started off actually selling men's shoes before I became a buyer. One thing I love about that organization is, I don't know what they're like now, but back in the old days, they used to start you at the bottom and work your way up. Even if you were executive quality material, you had to know what was going on the sales floor if you wanted to work from the top office. And it was a great philosophy that really made Nordstrom what it is today. One of the things that they always used to say is, no matter what anybody's buying, take out 3 pair of shoes. Okay? If they're buying a slipper, bring out an athletic shoe, bring out a dress shoe, and bring out the slipper that they want and maybe a couple of extras. Okay? The idea is that oftentimes you can get people to buy more. But and that's a great idea, and the people that did that were successful. They sold lots of stuff. I'm not sure they completely served their customers' needs and desires, but that's a whole other thing. We'll deal with trickery later. But the bottom line is, I used to get these guys that would come in. My dad, for example, he loved Nunn-Bush wingtip brogue shoes. And it's a particular kind of shoe with a wingtip toe and a big thick sole. And Nunn-Bush wingtip brogues were about $59 back then. And that's what my dad liked. He would come in, he would buy a black pair and a brown pair, and he was set for 3 or 4 years. He'd have them resold, okay? But the deal was, Dad only wanted Nunn-Bush wingtip brogues. Period. That's all he wanted. Well, I tried out the philosophy, and I'm like, all right, Dad, I'm going to check this out. You know, and I brought out what he wanted, and then I brought out this beautiful Allen Edmonds wingtip. The Allen Edmonds was handmade, handcrafted leather, beautiful, amazing craftsmanship. The finish was 100 times better than the Nunn-Bush. Now remember, the Nunn-Bush was $59, the Allen Edmonds was $359. So I bring them out and I try it on my dad, and he couldn't get it off fast enough. He was not going to buy anything else. The trick here is, it's okay to try and upsell your customer. Perhaps seeing the quality, feeling the superior fit, so on and so forth. My dad might have decided, wow, thank you for showing me this is really a huge value that's worth spending the extra money on the shoes. Okay? But there was a certain point of diminishing returns where it's not worth pushing it anymore. And actually what you can do is you can lose credibility with your customer or with your client. There are people who want to do my one-day move program who I know would totally blossom if they came in and we spent 3 days together. But the bottom line is, they'll spend $1,000, they will not spend $3,000. Period. Now someday, hopefully they'll see the value, and they will. But the bottom line is, the people that don't want to come, don't make them come. Give them what they want, be of service to the need that they're seeking. And build rapport and relationship so that perhaps down the road you can meet a greater need. Okay, that's it for today. Have a great time, and hey, do something that leads you towards your success today.